All right, here we are. We're working.
Or are we?
Somebody
post something that says we are here.
We're live. I can hear it on my phone.
I still
that we are live.
I don't trust it until we see a question pop up. But whatever. No, we got 10 watching. Maybe we are live.
Yeah,
maybe it's actually working now.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching the Jags United live show. It's me and Joey as always on a Monday. A loser Monday. And I don't say that like we're losers. So I'm saying that because the team loses every week, and we come in on a loser Monday.
Also known as Monday.
Also known as Monday.
I mean, it's just the norm.
So we got some comments already about the tank tops. Well, the tank tops Joey's tank tops are for the team. The team is tanking.
Because you did say you were going to wear one. And
That's true.
You failed
That's
to come
true.
through on that. So
all right, next week.
Top.
Next week, I got you next week. If you're wondering what we're talking about, and you're listening to the podcast, that makes a lot of sense. It's because we do a live show on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. If you like the podcast, you'll love the YouTube live show because it is the podcast just in real life.
I mean, what else do you have going on from like 10-ish to 10:20 when we start?
Exactly. I mean, you're anticipating like, oh, are they going to have their crap figured out this week? Are they going to start on time?
The answer is usually no.
The answer is no.
It always gets there.
Yeah, we get there eventually. We dive through YouTube analytics to figure out how to make the stream work, and then we get it to work.
Well, I don't. Jason does. I just wear the tank top like promised.
Yeah, my bad. This week on the mind, I had Tampa Bay Rays, so I wore the hat. So I mean, that was one thing. That was one thing already, guys. I mean, come on, how many different things can I plan out ahead of time? My Rays are in the World Series. I'm pumped about it. I'm probably even more pumped that the Braves aren't in the World Series. So shout out to all you Braves fans out there. Atlanta's having a tough week, man. Really.
Like couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, Atlanta's bad. You don't want to be a football fan. You don't want to be a baseball fan. You don't want to be a basketball fan for sure.
That's what you get for being a Braves fan. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Fair enough. I think we might be revisiting that next year when they're like really good. But, hey, for now, let's enjoy that.
I love how they're trying to – there's some people on the radio, they're like, oh, Travis d'Arnaud didn't show up in the playoffs. Well, yeah, no crap. What do you think the Rays traded him to you guys?
Ooh.
What do you think we didn't want him, okay?
Burn.
We pulled in Mike Zanino, who all he does is drop bombs, the ex-Gator catcher.
All I know is my Padres are going to be blowing up next year. You guys are all going to be running.
Before we jump into the Jags talk, I got to pump social media at Jags_United on Twitter. I break down some of the game film, put it on Twitter. It's pretty fun to watch. Not right now because we suck, but as you'll see throughout this episode, we have a common theme, and we're going to be talking about it with you guys and with Joey about where do we go from here. So that's pretty much going to be the title of the episode. We're going to talk all about that. We want to get to your thoughts and comments, so make sure you follow us on YouTube, and you can get in our live shows. You'll get a notification. We love to talk with you guys. I mean, this show's about y'all's opinion. Joey and me will, we'll talk, but it'll be ill-informed opinion, and then everyone will call us out in the chat, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I'm kind of interested about the questions tonight. I want to see what you guys got to say.
I just want to hit a couple of these comments real quick that we have on YouTube. C. Breacher says it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah. And I did a show with UCF Jaguar last week, so if you're really dying for Jags United content, it's out there.
Dude,
it's out there.
Rock solid.
Yeah, UCF's the guy. There. Bradley Rorick says, # Duval till we die. Well, I'm glad someone is still riding the train. Because it was funny,
It's more like a short bus at this point, but okay.
It's if you think about it, like the fan base is pissed, but if we're good next year, we're all just back on the train.
Of course.
That's what we are. We're Jags fans.
Dude, all it takes is win one game, and we're all like, Super Bowl.
Yeah. Brett E says, Duval, get your tank tops out.
Yes.
Zach Becker says, my soul is not.
Man,
there's a lot of words I could be there. My soul is not.
What were those ad-libs back in the day? My soul, is it a verb? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? What are we doing here?
A depression feeling. Like, oh, wow, that's an interesting thing. Nick F says, I'm in New York and it's cold, but it's tank time.
Hey, man, it was raining on my way home from work, and I was like a little chilly, honestly, and I don't get chilly, and I was like, dude, I still got to wear a tank top tonight. Hopefully this cold rain stops, which it did, so not too bad, but I get your point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of sad to think that we're going to tank, but we'll see. The title of the episode says Jags fall to 1-3. That's from last week. I'll try to fix it on the break, but you guys know.
Really care.
Yeah. Just read the ticker. The ticker's up to date.
I would like to throw like a real quick question out for you guys to answer back. Like, what's the number one thing right now that you think that the Jags are doing to tank top for Trevor Lawrence? Just real quick.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what's the number
Just
one?
out of everything that's going on right now, like, what's the most glaring thing that they're doing as an organization that makes you think that that is actually what's happening? We can do it throughout the evening.
Yeah, and can I give my answer first?
Yeah.
I think the thing that I know a lot of people are going to say, and Jesus is King says, keeping the front office. Yes, I mean, and that's the most obvious one, but and that's probably it. But you could go back further than that and say, honestly, when they did nothing to help Gardner Minshew, and that went like way beyond the front office. So that went back to the decisions they were making on 2020 free agents, trading Calais, exactly. Like, they were never setting up this team for success ever. And it kind of all happened at the same time. And when they kept the front office and when they drafted 2 defensive players in the first round and then told us that they're investing in Minshew, then it kind of told us that they weren't. And to me, that was it.
You know, Calais has 5 sacks right now as an individual. The Jaguars have how many?
What, 4? 4.
4.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yep. Cynical Jaguar fan says stupid play calling, roster management. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Scott Wood says, "What's up, fellas?" Scott, this is what's up.
Hey, Scotty Wood.
I'm currently first in our Jaguars United Fantasy League. I'm about to beat Heather by like 40 points tonight, and that's going to put me in sole possession of first place. And you know, I am one to talk some trash at times, and I'll take that moment now and to say I'm backing it up with the first place. So is it fair to say I'm backing up my trash talk at the beginning of the year?
You are backing that up, but I love that you took somebody who's not even in our fantasy league as a segue to brag about the fact that you're winning fantasy football.
I was honestly looking for the first segue that I could even get there with.
You nailed it.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Chili Willie says, at Todd Wash. Yeah, I feel you there. Sav Jag says, Doug Marrone has quit on the team. That's true. Did you see the press conference? Did you watch
actually,
any
for
of
the
that?
first time in since he's been the head coach, did not take it on himself and said that the players need to make plays. Good for him.
Yeah.
Even though I don't believe it, but at least he finally didn't just say it's our fault.
I mean, what else are you going to say at this point if you're Doug Marrone? You've said everything. You've said it's my fault. You've said I'm disappointed in myself. You've said I'm disappointed in my family. I mean, there's no one else. Eventually, you got to get to the players.
He also did say that Todd Walsh has a job as long as Marrone does.
Yes.
I'm like, So let's go into that because somebody mentioned the fact that the front office coaching staff is how we're showing that we're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. My question is, right now, would you want to fire them and bring somebody else in?
No, I wouldn't. And I made this point 2 weeks ago on our live show, and I'll stick by this same point 100%. If you fire these guys, they get the next 8 months, 6 to 8 months to just go on vacation, use that money that they're getting paid. It's guaranteed this year. They've already worked, so they're getting paid. They're taking some time off. They're really taking a deep look at their career. They're spending time with their families.
They probably want that at this point.
They're readjusting their mindset.
Please fire me.
They're getting refreshed. They're fishing every day. Screw that.
Yeah.
You put us in this pit, you're in it with us.
You show up and do some work.
You're showing up on game day. You're game planning every week. You got to show up to these team meetings. I think he already did quit on the team. He's trying to get fired. You know what? We're in it too. If we got to watch every game, so do you. That's how I feel.
The other side of the coin is fire these guys and then the players get juiced for a couple games, win a couple more games, and then put us in a worse situation not to get Trevor Lawrence. So no, I want these guys just like Jason. They're there for the entire season.
If we're in it, they're in it.
I agree.
100%. Jesus is King says, I'll start getting back interested if they fire the front office. He lost interest.
Yeah, end of the season. There we go.
I think a lot of people did. I mean, you can see that by our numbers and downloads and things like that. Not just for us.
Though personally, it pisses me off. I mean, come on. It's a lot harder to make this work when you suck, guys.
Everyone across the board is seeing numbers go down, unfortunately. Scott Wood says, forget the tanks. It's abhorrent for Lawrence.
Oh.
Okay. I have never heard that. So if that does catch on, Scott Wood, you get credit for that. 100%.
What is abhorrent?
I don't know.
Scott's a buddy of mine. Scott's a buddy of mine for a long time.
Okay.
A coworker.
Okay.
So Scott, you need to elaborate on that. What is abhorrent? Because I know you like to beat people with Scrabble words. So
and that's I feel like that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he is.
I feel like he's
doing that on purpose.
He's
On
flexing his vocabulary and it hurts. Okay.
He's also a Ravens fan, so let's get that out there right now.
Okay. Youngin Senju says fire this guy. I mean, damn. WTF it's not hard.
It's not the right answer though. I agree. I mean, everybody wants that. It should have happened at the beginning of this season. It should happen last season. But it's going to happen at the end of this season. If it doesn't, then burn the stadium down.
I think you're right when you said it's not hard, but it's like it's not like this team isn't trying to win.
No.
This team, like this is what they wanted. This is what they wanted.
I'll throw my point out there of why I asked that question. Dude, we have the 5th kicker that we've had in 4 weeks. We brought in a guy who had never kicked a collegiate or a professional field goal in his entire career. He was a soccer player at Louisville. Then he did their kickoffs for them because he has a strong legs. No field goals. He hadn't even played anything in like 2 years. That's who we bring in? Really?
But
Dude.
to be fair, I mean, he wasn't horrible.
Okay, but my point is, man, it really is like Major League. They're bringing in like the dude selling tires as the head. I mean, they're not trying to win. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
They're not trying to win, and it's true. And we're stuck here. And at the beginning of the year, we said this was going to be a tough year because this team's not trying to win.
Yeah.
And here we are doing that exact thing. It sucks to see, but it is. This is how good I am. As we were talking, I found out how to change the title as we're going. So
that's impressive.
remember I said I like to talk smack and brag on myself?
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm first in the fantasy league. I figured out how to change our title mid-episode. Are we 1-4? Are we 1-5?
All you need to do at break is put a tank top on so you can actually flex, and then, dude, it's like a complete night for you.
I think you're right. Yeah. So,
but you're missing all the questions as you update this banner.
Yeah, I know. I need Joey to fill some time here.
Well,
We're getting way behind on comments here. Okay, I'm gonna read a comment, and Joey, I need you to respond to it.
All right, I got it.
Nick F19 says, you guys saw what Chark said, right? I hope it doesn't escalate into A-Rob all over again. Sadly, Minshew's play has deteriorated from last year in the past month, and he's losing the team, I think. Joey, go.
Fantastic question. And obviously, Minshew is not the guy. I mean, I think that's evident at this point. We all love Minshew. He's got a lot of intangibles. He's done a lot of good things, but he is a really good backup quarterback. And it's showing. I mean, he's had a couple back-to-back bad games. And this past game especially, I mean, Chark's right. I'd be frustrated too because he is an elite Pro Bowl #1 receiver, and he was wide open on multiple plays, and Minshew couldn't even come close to finding him. And other receivers were as well. So, I mean, there's been some drop balls and stuff, but Minshew's got to make the throws when they're there, especially with the team that we have. So Chark's going to be frustrated. He's a guy who wins games. He's a winner. He was at LSU, won a national championship. He is still playing well. Not a lot, but people are. So it's starting to show a little bit. And that's what happens when you lose 5 games in a row.
Does it concern you that he did kind of look and sound like A-Rob before that whole thing happened? No, not at all?
No, dude. His character is completely different. He's a grown man playing as a second-year wide receiver. I don't question his character whatsoever. He's just frustrated because he wants to win so bad that it hurts. And that's what you want to see.
That's true.
It's like Miles Jack. I mean, I feel really bad for that guy because he's finally back in the position that he's made to play. Was having a Pro Bowl year, got a little banged up, and then he goes off, in an ankle cast. You can see it on his face, man. The dude was like legitimately tore up about the fact that he was hurt and wasn't going to be able to play on a team that's lost 5 in a row. So you do have some good stuff in there, man, and I feel bad for him.
I think there is a lot of positives. I think we'll get, and I want to kind of talk about some of the positives as we kind of move into this episode, and hopefully the people in the chat will have some positives as well. Zach Becker says you could clearly see how pissed the receivers were on and off the field this week. Scott Wood says the Webster definition of abhorrent is causing or deserving strong dislike or hatred, being so repugnant as to stir up positive antagonism.
So
okay.
the Jags are abhorrent.
I
like it.
Yeah. Abhorrently bad. They cause these feelings.
Yes.
So yeah. You're right. You're right.
They're generating it from their horrible suckiness.
Yeah. Moon Illusion says I actually made it. Moon Illusions, thank God you finally made it.
No joke.
Okay?
We need your 15 questions in the next 30 minutes.
Moon will come up with some good ones, and we'll sit here just being looking at each other like, we didn't think about that, Moon. Calm down. Like, what? Kev B says, what are your thoughts on Fields and Lance? Oh, it's early. Is Ohio State going to play? Does Lance have an NFL arm? Is the Notre Dame or is the North Dakota State scheme gimmicky? And did he have real competition?
I'm assuming Lance plays at North Dakota State.
Trey Lance.
I know the name.
Think about this,
God,
Joey.
no.
North Dakota practiced. They had a spring game. They had practices every day. They worked out for one game for Trey Lance to play.
Just to give him a game.
Just one game.
Is that where he ran a lot and didn't throw much?
He did run a lot.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Dude, Trey Lance, if we take Trey Lance, it'll be the most Jag thing we could ever do. It'll be like Bortles 2.0.
No, the most Jag thing we could do would be sign Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Which is what Sav Jag says.
Without a physical?
Yeah, seriously. You have 1 foot? Perfect. You're signed.
Ugh.
Zach Becker says, Big Man Barch came in, and I can't say I saw too much pressure squeeze through the Smoothie King.
Dude, that's
good.
awesome.
That's a good one. I hope you tweeted that because that's good.
Can went out, and I mean, honestly, at that point, I don't think it really mattered. I don't know how much pressure they were bringing, but he didn't do bad, right?
I honestly, I rewatched the game, but I didn't really watch anything.
Yeah,
I just
why would you at that point?
It's tough. It's tough right now, and I'm hoping that it gets better, but there's some good. There's some good on this team. Scott Wood, didn't mean to big time you. Figured you guys had that one. Oh wow.
Ooh,
gosh.
it's like a double whammy.
Thanks, Scott. Okay. Gosh, getting attacked here. Sav Jag does says Dak Prescott to Jags if we don't get Trevor. I'm actually not against the whole Dak Prescott thing, but let's just see how it plays out.
Just bring in Jameis. Why not? We get him for cheaper as the same freaking quarterback, dude. Behind our line, it's going to be 30 touchdowns, 15 to 20 interceptions, and 5,000 yards that don't mean anything.
That's true. Oat Max says, I prefer to have Fields over Lawrence. Ooh, Lawrence obviously is great in Clemson, but how great would he be with the pieces we currently have around him? We need Fields' mobility and improv skills.
I mean, honestly, I haven't seen enough of Fields because of his limited tape, first of all. Plus, he plays for a team I can't stand to watch. But everything I'm hearing is like he is a slower, not quite as athletic version of Kyler Murray. So, no, don't want it.
Kyler Murray makes me hopeful that a guy like Fields can be good.
But he's not as good, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's not Kyler Murray. If he's Kyler Murray, I'd say, okay, let's give him a shot. That'd be fun to watch. But everybody's saying he's like a downtick in every attribute from Kyler Murray.
If Kyler Murray was in this year's draft, where would he get picked?
2?
That's all I'm going to say. This could be the same thing. If Kyler Murray was in this draft, he'd be 2. If Trevor Fields could be the Kyler Murray, you don't know. You just don't know. I'm coming around to Justin Fields. I really am. And I don't know if that's just because I'm kind of accepting reality. That's probably who we're going to get now. Even though Trevor Lawrence is like a generational guy. But, I mean, the Jets just aren't going to win.
That's all we need is the Jets to win a game.
I don't know if they will.
Do we play the Jets this year?
The Jets are abhorrently bad.
They are.
Abhorrently bad.
That they are.
TJ, go ahead.
So, okay, what about this? So let's say we are a second or third pick, which is looking like we might be.
Yeah.
Dude, through every pick we have after that, all of them.
I don't think the Jets would do that.
Dude, they would do it if you gave them every pick we have in the first and second round. There's no way they wouldn't.
I don't think they would.
And Gardner Minshew and whatever else you want. Everything.
I don't think they would. I really don't. Nick F. 19 says, Lance definitely has an NFL arm, but he isn't accurate, or at least not the one game he played. Kind of like Josh Allen coming out, but he's way better runner. Not like Lamar or Cam, but maybe a mix.
It's kind of interesting.
Kind of sounds like Blake Bortles. Moon Illusions weather update: 1 to 15 with a chance of 2 to 14.
Dude, Moon.
Perfect.
Moon never disappoints.
Yeah, he never does. TJ Maxx plays says Jabal Sheard is the best D lineman we have besides Josh Allen.
Who?
Jabal Sheard we picked up and he played one game with the Jags. I think he had like 3 pressures and like already playing better than everyone we had. And he was like a free agent.
Ah, of course. Undrafted?
No, the team cut him. I think he had like issues. I don't know. I'm going to guess and then the chat's going to tell me I'm wrong. So I'm not even going to guess.
It doesn't matter. I
don't know.
He's the best guy we have. He doesn't start for any other team in the NFL. That's the bottom line.
Bradley Rourke says, could a midseason schematic change on defense be possible? And if so, would it make a difference?
I don't know. In that press conference you mentioned today, Marone said that they've tried literally everything and that players need to make plays. That's the short and sweet of it, right?
Have you tried re-signing your draft picks? Has anyone tried that? I've heard that if you do that, your chances of success go up.
Fair enough.
Nick F. also says, Barch looked good. We need to be a 3-4 next year. Chazon can't run with a hand in the dirt, and they need to let him stand up so he can go speed to power.
Fair enough.
I don't know if he's going to have the power at the NFL level quite yet. He might develop it. I don't know.
He's got the speed.
He has the speed. I think people are a little quick to judge. You got to remember, if you're drafted over 20, there's going to be a little bit of adjustment curve in your play. That's why you got drafted 20. Yeah, they pop off after that. So I don't need a bunch of evidence of people that were drafted 20 that were good. But typically when you're taking a guy in the 20s and the 30s, they're a guy that you might need some time to develop. And Chazon is just going to need some time. I mean, he was raw. And I know people hate that word. Taven has ruined the term raw athleticism for everyone.
Upside potential.
He's ruined it. But you got to remember that he is raw. He always has been. LSU took him on a whim because he was raw and athletic. He dominated. Jags did the same thing. Hopefully it pays off. Let's just not discount him yet. I mean, no one's looking good. Josh Allen's not even looking good. Is Josh Allen bad? I don't think so. Do you think Josh Allen's bad?
Of course not.
So maybe it's just.
But he looked good last year.
Yeah, maybe it's just maybe if there's good people around you, you play better. That's a shocking thought.
Yeah. I mean, the Jags coaching staff is abhorrently bad about putting people in the right positions.
Abhorrently.
Like Miles Jack, prime example. And
Yeah.
I think they are. He does make a good point. I think they are doing that with him. And the fact that at LSU, he did not play with a hand down 85% of the snaps. So not only is he making the leap to the NFL on a team that sucks, but they're also making him do something that he literally hardly ever did.
Yeah.
So how can you expect the guy to succeed at that?
At least not right away.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Nobody would.
Moon Illusion says, sign me up for Fields. Who would you take with the second first rounder then?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. I don't think he'll be there. I think Pitts will be a top 15 pick.
Well, Rams are going to be bad, right? We're going to get.
Now the Rams are looking pretty good. I think did they lose though last night?
I don't know. It's West Coast.
I think they lost, and but they have been doing pretty good.
All I know is there's a lot of fires out there.
There's a lot of fires out there. I would like to see obviously best available player is the easy answer. But, I mean, if you want to talk about the next position of need that you could maybe potentially solve in the first round, I think you would have to look at either offensive line or wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even shock me if Keelan Cole gets traded before week 6, honestly. Week 8, maybe. I mean, a team – Keelan Cole – if there's a guy on this team that's teams are going to go after, it'd be Keelan Cole at this point.
Well, I agree, and we should probably trade him because this is his good year. That means next year is going to be his bad year, and then the year after he's going to have a good year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we know that.
Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, I think we're going to need wide receiver help. Chark is good, but after Chark, we have really no legitimate talent. You look at teams all over the league. We just watched a little bit of the Cowboys game, and they're not playing well, and yet they still have Amari Cooper. They still have
CeeDee
Lamb. I mean, they're just Galladay, or not Galladay, whatever, Gallup.
That guy.
Yeah, Gallup. I mean, they have a bunch of players that are good, and they're still struggling. And we're out there with, I like Shenault. I like these guys, but you have to be star-studded at the playmaker position nowadays.
Or have somebody that can actually throw to the playmakers and make the other guys better, like a Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is, if you have a quarterback that can elevate everyone's play, then you can kind of get away with a little bit of marginal talent at the skill position. But I don't want that. Go get a guy.
Yeah. Answer this since we're on wide receiver. What the heck happened to Dede, man?
He's
That was
a
huge on
healthy
that guy.
scratch.
But why? That guy,
realistically, your number 4 wide receiver is not going to get a lot of snaps.
he's not even dressing out.
That's what I'm saying.
Hurt,
he's the 4 right now. If it's between Dede Westbrook and Colin Johnson, I'm going to put Colin Johnson out there. Chris Conley has kind of inched his way into the lineup a little bit, but he
drops more balls than.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
Elliot Crabtree says, "What's up, guys?" Elliot Crabtree's awesome. Elliot Crabtree runs some of UCF Jaguars channel stuff.
Elliot.
Does a great job. All those guys do a great job.
They do.
I don't understand how he got so many good people in his chat. I mean, I do, but like, share the wealth there, UCF. Man, he's got like some killer mods in his chat. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Nick, but yeah, he goes on to say that that he, as much as he's hate to say this, I've given up on Minshew. We're 1-5. I'm all in on tanking for Trevor Lawrence.
It's evident Minshew is not a franchise quarterback. Nothing against him, man. He's not supposed to be. He's a 6th-round draft pick at 5 different colleges. He's a great dude. He tries harder than anybody. He's super smart. Does some good things, but he's not an elite quarterback. You look at the guys in the past, 10, 15 years. There's been how many locks at quarterback? Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck? Can you name another?
I mean,
like going into the draft,
in my opinion,
locks.
or like nationally.
Okay, whatever. Give me 3 or 4 then. I mean, there's not that many.
I thought that I was huge on a couple guys. I was big on Jameis Winston.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys that actually turned out to be.
I was wrong on him. I wasn't big on Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. I wasn't big on Bortles. I'm actually really big on Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's going to be a great player.
Up in the air.
I was big on Lamar Jackson. I was big on Deshaun Watson.
Both up in the air still at this point, actually.
But as far as nationally, you're right. There's not a lot of home run guys that are coming out. And
Trevor Lawrence is that
and
guy.
He is. I agree, 100%.
So you do whatever it takes to get him. You don't talk about Justin Fields. You don't talk about – you do whatever it takes. If you have to sell your whole team off, all the picks, the year after that, you get him and then build from there.
That's going to be the Jets' approach as well. So if the Jets have the first chance at that, there's nothing we can do about it.
I think you can make them an offer they couldn't refuse.
Maybe.
With the amount of draft capital we have.
Talking about Keelan Cole, Kev B says that he would light it up elsewhere. That out and go on Okudah was filthy. Could get a 3rd at least, maybe throw a team in a 5th and a 6th back.
That'd be awesome because he wouldn't even have got a shot on another team. So
I agree, and that's kind of I posted something on Twitter earlier. I think you could leverage Keelan Cole into a solid draft pick that is more valuable than he is.
Absolutely,
because a team, I was trying to think of some teams that really need a wide receiver. Like the Packers could really do well with a Keelan Cole out there,
especially with Lazard, which we gave him for nothing.
Exactly. So they give us a 3rd when they're making a run.
Yeah,
that's now all of a sudden you're looking at some draft capital. I don't trust Dave Caldwell to make a 3rd-round pick with this team because I think he's done a horrible job drafting. And as I was looking back through the draft, the Chiefs picked Eric Fisher and we picked Luke Joeckel. The Chiefs and the Jags were in the exact same position in Caldwell's first year here. Look where the Chiefs are now and look where the Jags are now.
Well, the Jags picked not even Doug Marrone, who was the coach before him. Gus Bradley, and we could have had freaking Andy.
Dave Caldwell's first thing he did when he started in Jacksonville was he fired Mike Mularkey after 1 year, who went on to have a playoff win with the Titans.
Yep.
He hired Gus Bradley, and he drafted Luke Joeckel, and then he drafted Blake Bortles. And that's the guy that is still running your team 8 years later.
It's got some dirt on somebody.
Blows my mind. Okay. Sav Jag says we need ownership to be more involved with the team.
It's not going to happen.
I agree with that, though.
I agree, but it's not going to happen.
It's not, but I agree.
That's why you need a good GM.
Matt G says we better watch Justin Fields' tape because I think he's more realistic personally. I agree. 100%, Matt G. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And I think I've convinced myself to like Justin Fields. So
quick release.
I haven't really watched enough film, to be honest with you.
All right.
I like him. He's athletic, and now athletic quarterbacks are good nowadays.
I'm throwing this out there. What we all need, more than anything, is a Jason Trent breakdown on Justin Fields.
I think that's going to be coming. I wanted to do a quarterback breakdown. I was thinking about doing a video of all 3 quarterbacks, but there's 2 issues with that. Justin Fields has no tape yet from this year.
Well, last year.
Yeah, but I figured if I waited a little bit, and more than that, I thought if I posted that now, fans would just be pissed that I've given up already.
Everybody's given up. Though.
I know. I think now we're closer. I was thinking about this like a couple weeks ago.
It might help me feel better if we win another game, because we probably will, out of the blue, somehow, and absolutely ruin the chances of Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, make me feel better about Justin Fields.
Yeah, we better start watching Trey Lance and Kyle Trask tape at this point. Don't even raise your eyebrows at that. Don't even raise your eyebrows at Kyle Trask. I don't want him anywhere near this team.
Me neither.
Zach Becker, I don't get how anyone sees Minshew as a franchise dude. I want him to be good, and he's a good dude, but he can't be the guy. His arm is too limiting, and the play calling, especially with our receivers. That's true and fair. True and fair. Elliot Crabtree, Jets need to start winning. Okay, here's what the Jets can do. If the Jets fire their coach in their front office, Gase, they fire Gase, and they promote some, like, I don't know, some guy that the team likes to be the interim coach. They rally behind him. They rattle off 2 wins.
That could happen with them.
We're sitting 2-1. We're sitting at the first pick. That's why you don't fire Doug Marrone.
I agree.
Because can you imagine if they fire Doug Marrone, fans are happy. Yeah, they did it. They promote like Terry Robisky or they promote Keenan McCardell. The Jags go out there and rattle off 3 out of the next 4, still end up with a terrible record, and we're sitting there going, all right, Trey Lance or Kyle Trask.
Now what do we do?
Now what?
Well, answer me this. Did you think that the Giants were going to win a game like they did?
No, but I
okay.
thought the Giants had the capacity.
Hey.
I thought they had the capacity.
Dude, Jets have the capacity.
No. They just traded their best player for a 6th-round pick to the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Again, like always, we appreciate you guys watching the YouTube live show. If you're listening to the podcast, go check out the YouTube show. It's awesome. It's interactive with the fans. If we get behind on the comments, we apologize. If it's a banger, repost it, and we will hit it because we want to get to you. This show is about you guys. We want to get your opinions out there. We love that you guys talking. This is a big like Jags round table right here. This is what this is. So shout out to all you guys that are here. Chili Willie says, here's a fun Jags fact. Since 1995, the Jaguars have taken 29 first-round picks.
Oh, God, this is going to hurt.
Of those 29, 18 have been in the top 10. That is 62% of our first-round picks have been in the first round. And what's not even fair about that is like how many of those 29 do the Jags have like 2 first-round picks?
Well, think about how many people are in the like Ring of Honor. 3?
That's because they won't add Mercedes Lewis like I've been lobbying for decades.
If you have 18 first-round picks, you should have more than 3, right? Oh, dude, that's sad.
If they would add Matt Jones, if they would add Mercedes Lewis, if they would add Justin Blackmon, we'd be fine.
What type of Ring of Honor are we talking about here?
Maybe the problem is
Ring of Honor at the Ritz?
Maybe a Ring of Honor standards are too high. Have you ever thought about that?
We got to lower the bar.
Have you thought
I agree,
about that?
man. Load it up.
Yes. Jack Del Rio. You know what? Looking back, dude, not a bad career.
Jack of
the
River deserves something.
Put him up there.
You got a hard road.
Calais Campbell does. I mean, what? You know what? Put him up there. Robert Atzert says fire everyone. On Twitter, I screenshotted the entire management, everyone that works for the Jags. It's 4 pictures worth of people. I put fire them all. Assistant director of communications fired.
Dude, I mean, if we can bring in a kicker that's never kicked an NFL field goal before, surely we can bring some dude off the street to be coach and GM. Like, hey, do like a fan ticket give off. Like, hey, you answer this trivia question, you get to coach a game. See how it goes.
I'll keep saying this. You could have simulated our franchise on Madden.
You could have.
For the last 5 years, and we would have had a better record than what we've done. Think about that, because that's true.
Yeah.
Nate says, I kind of forced to like Fields not getting one overall. I feel like that's the general sentiment. Is that where we're at now?
It's not my sentiment.
Is the Jets
whatsoever.
that bad?
Not my sentiment. I think we can still make it work, even if we're not picking number 1. It's going to hurt, but we can make it work.
Bradley Williams says, nah, don't fire Dougie Doug. We have to get the Kansas City offensive coordinator to be our head coach next year.
Dougie Doug.
I think his name's like Bieniemy, and he could be good. But yeah, I agree. Don't fire Doug. Screw you.
I agree.
The best thing you could do for Doug in his life would be to fire him right now.
Yeah, dude, he's miserable.
He's trying to get fired.
He's miserable.
He's literally blaming the
He's
players.
fire me so I can fire Walsh, and we can just not do this anymore because this is miserable.
The last person to blame is these guys blame the owner. If he just comes out there and is like, you know what, our owner sucks, he's fired. So maybe that's what he does next week.
Yeah.
Could you see that? Like indirectly, Marone's a smart guy. He's pretty cryptic in his press conferences. We've seen that in his career. Is there? Could you see him cryptically blaming Shad Khan in one of these games coming up?
I think Khan's a smart enough businessman where there's probably something in Marone's contract where it says, if you blame me for anything, you're not getting any more checks.
That's probably true. That's a good point I did not thought about. Brett E. says Ohio State quarterbacks have never succeeded in the NFL.
That's a great point as well.
I don't like that point because you're going off of history.
You're going off facts.
No, you're going
instead
off
of what
history.
I think.
You're going off history.
Even though you literally said
Okay.
you couldn't do a film breakdown of him because he doesn't have enough film. But yeah, let's not go off facts.
You can't go off history of schools. If that were the case, you would never draft a Florida
Which
quarterback.
you shouldn't draft a Florida player ever as a Jaguar. That should be our history. Do not take one ever.
Florida D linemen have dominated historically, and Taven Bryan was terrible. So it doesn't always work like that, is my point. Zach Becker says, I'm just nervous about Fields that he'll be Haskins all over again. Okay, we get it. Okay, he could be Haskins. He could be Cardell Jones. We don't have any other options. We're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. We're not as bad as the Jets. You guys want Trey Lance instead? Do you want Kyle Trask instead? Is this where we're at in life, where we're debating between Kyle Trask and Justin Fields?
No, I'm not.
Yes, it is.
I'm saying we're getting TL. It's going to happen.
We're not getting Trevor Lawrence. You can just sail that pipe dream down the river because that's not happening. The Jets are horrible. And they're not going to fire their coach either because they're trying to lose too. The Jets are doing the exact same thing that we are, and they're just better at it. We're not even the best losers.
Yeah, that's true.
Bradley Williams says, give us your list of top 5 potential head coaches you'd want. Oh, gosh. Brad, I could just rattle some off, and I'd get killed here because I didn't do proper research. I haven't yet done the research on the top 5 guys. I think there's been some names that have been mentioned in the chat. Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City is obviously everyone's front runner choice.
Which means we won't get him.
A guy I really like, and fans aren't going to like this, but I really like the Kansas City defensive coordinator. I think it's Saleh or something like that. I really like that guy. I know no one wants a defensive coach around here, but I like what they do. I like his energy on the sidelines. He's kind of a young guy. Seems like a player's coach. Saleh. I mean, that's a guy that, hopefully he'll probably have a head coaching job here pretty soon. Jay Gruden, honestly, is a guy I could see being a head coach somewhere. I like Jay Gruden's style of offense. People bash that 4th and 1 trick play with James Robinson. I actually kind of like the play. Look, when the Eagles did it in the Super Bowl and won, it was genius. If they would have not converted it, it would have been the dumbest thing of all time.
He even bashed himself for that play.
He said he should have called on 3rd down, which I guess, yeah, he should have called it on 3rd down. But you know what? In the momentum of the game, screw it. If you ran that play in practice and it worked and you could hit it 10 times out of 10 in practice, run it.
I don't think it would have worked on 3rd down either, so it really doesn't matter.
Any coaches I didn't name that you have any college guys that you
Urban Meyer.
Okay. I don't think he would be upset about
Herbs,
Urban Meyer. I don't think anyone would be upset about Urban Meyer.
You have to pay him like, Gruden in Vegas, but bring in Herbs.
Yeah. Nick F says Saleh was our linebackers coach from, I could be saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Saleh was our linebackers coach from 2014 and 2016.
Isn't that the
Buzz years?
like the dip, what is it? The
Fun dip?
no, like the dip you put the pita chips in.
Hummus?
Yeah, solid. Isn't that the hummus brand?
How did I know what you were talking about?
I don't know because I wasn't even close to saying it. That's good. We've been doing it.
Pita chips gave it
We've
away.
been doing this too long.
Elliot Crabtree. Fun fact, Shad Khan fired Gus Bradley in Week 15 of his 4th season, and Doug Marrone is now in the 4th season as the coach. The same thing could happen. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Elliot. That's the thing. I don't think Shad Khan's going to fire him anytime soon, but Week 15 for sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, heck yeah. That's just to sell tickets at that point.
I just hopefully
same thing he did with Gus Bradley.
Hopefully, if he does it, then he has an actual plan for the next guy at that point, unlike last time. But
remember when we fired Gus Bradley? Didn't we rattle off 2 out of the next 3?
Yeah,
I think we did with Doug Marrone as the head coach.
Yeah,
And Doug Marrone got his job because of that.
and's kept it for 4 years.
Yeah. Bradley Williams says no. Urban Meyer's quarterback. Ohio State's quarterbacks don't succeed. Robert Atzert says hopefully by the bye week he's fired. Nick F. Hey, did you know Robert Salah was on the Jags? Yeah, someone just told us. I like Salah, but he does run a 4-3, and I imagine he'd see the talent for a 3-4, but that's the only problem I'd see with him. If he's a 4-3 guy, he's gonna want to run the 4-3, and he'll just get the guys that run a 4-3, like we tried to do this year, kind of, but they all opted out for
Or,
some
you know,
weird reason.
Like, crazy idea. Bring in a coach that like actually coaches to the talent you have at the time. I mean, somebody like Mullen coming into the Gators, man. Like, he doesn't run the offense that he wanted to run. He saw what he had. He ran what he could, and he's modified it since as he gets the players in. I don't get why these coaches like come in and be like, this is all I can do. I don't care if I have these players or not. I'm making this square peg fit in a round hole. If you're a coach, you coach to what you have. I think it's crap that they can't do it at this level.
I think you're right. Well, we were way past our break time. And if you're wondering why on our YouTube live show we have to take a break, it's because on our podcast we contractually have to put in some ads. I know it creates some abhorrent feelings to put in ads in a show, and I get it. But the bottom line is, I'll just be honest with you guys, we make back about the amount of money that we need to produce this. So it kind of breaks even for us, so that's why we do it. So we apologize for the ads, but if you would support them, that would be great, whatever they may be, for listening to the podcast. If you're watching the live show, which we encourage, on YouTube, we're just going to take a quick 2-minute break, and Joey and I are going to refill our refreshments.
Maybe go to the bathroom.
Maybe go to the bathroom. Maybe check the score of the football game. I'm going to get my computer charger. That's definitely needed.
I see that.
And we'll be right back. So hang tight. We appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you in like a couple minutes. All right, and we are back to our Jaguars United live show. Me and Joey are hanging out, talking with you guys in the chat. If you haven't yet followed us on Twitter, make sure to go on Twitter right now. We're at Jaguars_United. Instagram, we're at Jaguars_United_. YouTube, obviously, you're watching us here. If you're not watching us here, just search it up, Jaguars United, and you'll find us. Joey and me caught a glimpse of the Monday Night Football game. Cowboys are still down, 31-3.
Jason ran in here scared that Zeke was about to run one in. He's going to lose. He's
I'm
like, I'm not watching.
not going to watch Zeke get the ball on the 1 yard line and me lose my fantasy by 1 point because Zeke runs it in. So
Garbage time.
Forgive me for not wanting to watch that and throw something through my television.
I'm just adding the color. It wasn't a run. It was a fast walk, but, I mean, it happened.
Bradley Williams says, welcome back. No, Bradley, honestly, thank you for staying. It's been awesome. We love you guys. Let's just jump right into it with Sea Breacher. Should we bench Minshew?
No. Why?
Oh, I forgot my charger. And there goes my net. You had
I'll
one
answer
job.
I'll answer that question while you get the charger. How about that? Hopefully I can talk
Perfect.
for a minute and a half about why we shouldn't bench Minshew. I mean, first of all, dude, the guy's fun to watch, and everybody likes him. I mean, all of us at this point, I think, agree he's not our guy as a starter. Doesn't mean he couldn't be our backup going forward for a couple of years. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to get for him in the trade market, so why not keep him? There's no way he wouldn't be a good locker room guy. There's no way he wouldn't help a rookie out and teach him the playbook. I mean, the guy's going to be the ultimate pro and good team player, so no, you don't bench him. Plus, I mean, who are we going to bench him for? I mean, the 7th-round pick we had?
Jake Luton.
Yeah, Luton.
Jake, you like that? Jump
Yeah.
right back in on Jake Luton.
I was about to say, the guy sounds like I've got a Luton allergy, and I don't want him to play football for us. I mean, no, dude. That guy, no.
I mean, okay.
I mean, yeah, we're going to lose more games, but, I mean, we're not going to win more. I don't know. No. I think you keep Minshew playing. And
let's say you're like 1-12, right? And Minshew is what he is. You know what he is. Like, why not throw Luton out there? Maybe he has like a Matt Castle type run.
You don't want that to happen if you're trying to lose. Yeah, throw Luton out there and like
he'll mess around and win some games.
Put like some lightning in a bottle for 2 games and then show that he sucks too and screw us even harder. No,
yeah.
No.
You don't want another like 5 years of a quarterback who could be the future but could not be the future.
Yeah.
But you never know because the front office won't invest enough into the team to.
Yeah, that's why I want us to draft Fields, so we have that question mark still. Hey, how about this? I was thinking about this in the break since we're still working on the charger over here.
It's back.
There's a very, very high likelihood, in my opinion, that Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the market next year.
Thinking about dating him?
If
Thinking
you
about
get
hitting
the
him
Jags,
up?
man, whatever homeboy needs. I mean, nobody else likes him, but,
Yeah, I mean, now his own family doesn't even like him.
nobody
so,
likes him. But you could get a good 3-4 years out of that guy. So, I mean, can't get Trevor Lawrence. Yeah? No?
I mean, obviously, I think anyone would want Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if this is a situation Aaron Rodgers is attracted to unless you like literally throw like the coin purse at him.
I think he's going to be forced out, and we'd have to.
Yeah, I know, but
pay
I
him,
think he'll have his
obviously,
pick of teams he could go to. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a team like Washington, who I think will win a couple games down the stretch just because they're kind of decent. Other places, you know, I think I can see it happening.
I'm saying at least there's one more option out there for an elite quarterback, and not maybe.
Moon Illusion says Luton season. C. Breacher says Jake Luton is our future. And then Bradley Williams says, do you want Trevor Lawrence or not? I think the answer is that we obviously do.
Of course.
I mean, we would take
okay.
him. Yeah.
I'm throwing this out there, and I need 3 answers immediately. Why the heck do you guys say Luton's the answer? Like, you've got a minute and a half, no Google involved.
I think they're just like kind of messing around.
I hope.
I think it's just like a
Please tell
troll
me.
job.
Okay.
I don't think anyone actually.
If you're trolling me, I fell for it because, come on.
I don't think anyone actually thinks Luton is going to be
my blood
good.
pressure went up there a little bit. All right, I'm good now.
It's all good. It's all good, but you never know. No, Mike Glennon is the guy. So
All right,
maybe,
thank you.
yeah,
Yes, definitely
maybe.
being trolled.
Bradley Williams says we need Washington football team and Giants to win a couple. Yes, we do.
Well, they have.
Yeah. Robert Adzert's with you. He says we have enough picks to trade one.
Dude, I'm serious, man. We could put together a package that would wreck us for next year, but we'd still get Trevor Lawrence.
Zach Becker says, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
All right, guys. Well played. I'll give you all that one. It's the whole Trey Lance talk, man. Like you're bringing up Trey Lance, and then you're talking about Luton. Like I'm older, man. My heart can't handle that kind of stuff, guys. Like let's not do that.
Trey Lance could be good. He could be.
Yeah, he could.
Cynical Jags fan says, I mean, you never know. That's true. Nick F says, if we get Aaron Rodgers for 4 years and then tank for a year, then get Archie Manning, who's Eli and Peyton's nephew,
Dude,
who's a beast and a sophomore in high school.
Anybody watch that?
Nick F obviously did,
yeah.
and is thinking like way down the road.
Dude, that guy was rolling to his left, waiting, throwing like across his body, like on the run, in a hole. Dude, that was pretty legit. Like, he's a Manning.
Is there any doubt that like the offspring of the Manning,
dude, obviously at this point,
is going to be good?
No, he's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, can he stay healthy? Like Cooper, his dad, who could not. Could not.
That footage was pretty legit. Nice comment. I like that.
C. Breacher says, "What do you think of Jamie Newman, Georgia quarterback? Was that Georgia? He was a Georgia quarterback, and then he sat
played
out.
A snap for Georgia, so I wouldn't call him a Georgia quarterback. I think the guy's garbage, man. He played for a school nobody ever heard of. Nobody ever watched him play. He's coming to Georgia. He's a top 5 pick at that point. Heisman candidate. Doesn't win the starting job. Opts out, and now he's talking about transferring to another school. No, not on my team.
They say about college or high school quarterbacks that there's a red flag if the high school player has played at like 3 different schools in 4 years. That's the same red flags that we're seeing with Jamie Newman. And again, another guy, which I apologize because usually I'm the film guy, I'm the scout guy. In another life, I was probably a scout for an NFL team. I have seen nothing on Jamie Newman.
But why would you? That's the point.
I wouldn't put it past me to watch some high school film of Jamie Newman.
I mean, I agree. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the whole thing. He's got somebody in his ear that's giving him bad information, and he's not. Yeah. He's good, obviously, but he's not that good, or he wouldn't need to do that kind of thing.
Moon Illusion says, probability of a clean house this offseason.
I mean, 100%.
But, Joe, you've been on the record of saying that they, like, you think that, like, they aren't.
I have up until, like, this season. I mean, I said they're all coming back this season. I mean, at this point, though, you can't. Like, Khan's not stupid. He might not care about the football team as far as, like, the actual wins and losses go, but he does care about the money. And all the big video boards and pools and Lot J and restaurants, I mean, that only goes so far unless you lose all the fans. And if he brings back the whole coaching staff, there's no way, man. They're done.
Well, I was thinking about this today. Shad Khan's made money off this team. Like, he's
boatload.
What he's bought the team at as an investment and what he can now sell it has been magnified. Like, he's made money. Like, win or lose, like, affects his bottom line a little bit, but not to the point where he's like losing money if we lose. Like, our net gain as fans is win-loss. To him, it's win because he's made a bunch of money on this franchise. Like you said, investing in the stadium, investing in the city, just the value of NFL franchises going up. I don't think that he's looking at this the same way that we are. He doesn't need to win. He needs to make money. Would he like to win? Yes, obviously. These guys are all hyper-competitive. They've been good at everything they've done their entire life. These guys are like, I'm not going to say arrogant, but these guys like are competitive. That's why they're in this business. That's why they're high-stakes guys. That's why they're buying NFL teams and buying soccer teams. These guys are competitive guys, and like they don't want to lose. Do you think Tony Khan wants to lose? I mean, no. He's the VP of all these teams. Do you think he wants to lose? He's got pride. I mean, these guys don't want to lose. They're making the decisions they think is best for the franchise. In no way are the Jags trying to win this year.
No.
And that's why they're not losing any sleep over us losing this year. And it's evident. They're playing for next year. They're playing for 2022 because that's what you do when you are trying to make money on your franchise is you think way long term. You don't think season by season. So
the only thing that changes a small market team like the Jags and how the ownership is going to treat it is if for some reason, I mean, viewership is down, but if sponsors and advertisers opt out and the TV money goes down, that's the only thing that's going to change that. He could do nothing win no games, not have any take at the stadium, and still make money off the TV deals and how much the franchise is going up. So, I mean, it is what it is there.
Yeah, I agree. switching back and forth here between just testing out the YouTube studio and then just using YouTube, just kind of checking out the interfaces here.
I saw that.
If there's any
went like a dark mode.
Dead space. That's why.
Have you sped up the tagline along the bottom though? Because that was one of the comments.
I can do that. Let us know. Is the scroll speed too slow? You let us know. I mean, there's some speed readers out there. I get that, but there's some slow people out there too,
That's
Joey.
true.
There's some people that need some time to sound some words out.
I'd have to assume some of our followers probably are in that category.
Zach Becker, do we fill needs in the first and take a quarterback in the later rounds instead of risking a high pick on Fields?
Yes, that's worked well for the past 15 years.
It hasn't worked well for anyone with the exception of the Ravens, who took Lamar Jackson late.
And got lucky.
And well, if that happens.
I mean, got lucky he fell that far. I mean, they traded up to get him. And then
That's true.
So, I mean.
That's true.
Who else?
Robert Adzert says that I need to be the Jags head scout. They are blind. If I was the Jags head scout, we would be a very good team because I typically am right about prospects because I put in the diligence. And you think scouts do too, but it blows my mind how I can look at a player and say he's not going to be good. Here's the thing: is like these guys try to outsmart everybody. Like taking Tyson Alualu in the first round, like what? Like that's a bad pick. You could have gotten him in the second round. No one was going to draft him.
Good player,
like,
but not a first-round player.
Like K'Lavon Chason, like he probably would have lasted till your second pick. Like he probably would have. So I feel like sometimes we reach for guys. Like Taven Bryan was falling in the draft board. So by the time that we did draft him, it was like a good value pick. But at the end of the day, he wasn't a good player.
Dude, nobody even heard of Taven Bryan.
He was projected to go mid-first round. So when we got him in the late first round, it did look like a steal.
That was a dumb projection.
Yeah. Moon Illusion says it's too slow. Cynical Jags fan says, now that you pointed it out. Okay, so that's why we're asking. Look, I mean, that's why we're asking. Like, if it's too slow, we'll speed it up. It literally takes me 2 clicks to do.
It's abhorrently slow.
Abhorrently slow. We'll make sure that it does that. Cynical Jags fan, who's your pick for GM? Me. They should hire me. That's what they should
Jason would do a better job.
Absolutely.
But that's one of the hardest questions out there, dude. Like, there's only so many of those guys. It's like CEO of companies. Like, they all switch positions. They do a horrible job. They get fired. They get their, like, payout. And then 2 years later, they're a CEO of another company. It's the same thing with GMs. Like, unless there's some, like, guy out there that you're going to take a flyer on that was an awesome scout that just is that I mean, dude, I can't even name 3 GMs.
That's not surprising.
No, it's not.
Brett E says, if we get Trevor Lawrence, this team will make more money, get new sponsors, and finally get primetime games.
Boom.
Give up the house for T-Law.
Boom.
I don't think the Jets will have any package that we could trade that they would give up Trevor Lawrence. I think he's that good, and I think everyone knows it. If you were the Jets and you were offered every pick we have, would you trade it for the first pick? If you were the GM of the Jets.
Here's what's going to happen. Is Trevor is going to say, I don't want to
playing for the Jags.
I don't want to go to New York. I'm coming back for my senior year, and I'll go to the Jags next year. Why would he want to be in a New York market when he can play in Jacksonville?
That's a good point, Joey. I've never heard anyone put it that way. Now that you do, who could blame him?
All right, Justin Fields, how you doing, buddy?
Elliot Crabtree, I mean, God, if Minshew was not going to be this good, we should have kept Foles as backup. Look at him right now. He's killing it in Chicago.
Yeah,
There's something that hasn't been brought up yet.
He threw for like 268, a touchdown and a pick.
And he's still the same old Nick Foles in his press conference after the game.
And they won with their defense. I'm a Nick Foles fan. I love the guy. But, I mean, he's a backup that comes in and catches on fire and wins Super Bowls. He's not a long-term franchise starting quarterback.
Bradley Williams keeps saying JU gives us your top 5 quarterback prospects in 2021 draft and makes a YouTube. Jags United. Oh, okay. You know how long it's going to figure out Jags United? That's my own initials for the show.
He's thinking about the Dolphins, man. He's like, they've still got a football team, right?
Yeah. I will. I'm sorry, Brad. The reason why I ignored that comment is I couldn't figure out what JU meant. I thought you were referencing a quarterback's initials, and I was racking my brain trying to think of who JU initials were.
Johnny Unitas?
I'm sorry, Brad. I apologize. Brett E says he's not killing it, but he's definitely a better player than Minshew.
Who?
I don't know. It's been a while. But I don't know. Sea Breacher, too fast. I can't process fast. Start Jake Luton. I'm starting to think that Sea Breacher is Jake Luton.
I think
I'm starting to think that.
So if Luton can't read that tagline that slow, there's no way he's going through a playbook in any kind of time. So,
hey, my guy's like 6'7". He can do whatever he wants.
That's true. That's definitely prototypical.
Robert at Zert says Bryant needs to step up or get out. Smoot looks better. I think he was our third. Smoot looks good. Yeah, I mean, Smoot flashes. He has those plays.
He's put together 2 good games.
Yes, I like Smoot. I was kind of tough on Smoot. That's a guy that I will say that I was a little too tough on.
Smoot's so scary that I'm afraid to say that he's not good.
He's scary. And again, I had that same thing. And like he's a vlogger too, so he could roast me if he wanted to, and he has every right to. I mean, I gave up on Smoot kind of quick. I still don't know if he's
not a
starter, but
he's
definitely a good player, and I would never say anything bad about anyone about their personality or anything like that. I can just talk about what they could.
He should be on the team, 100%.
Yeah. Elliot Crabtree says Gardner Minshew is just playing for his job at this point. That's true. He looked kind of dejected on the sideline. He looked like he couldn't do anything right. He's making bad reads. He's seeing phantom pressure.
I mean, I think it's finally cracked him a little bit. Like he's that guy that seemed like it just ran off of him, and it didn't affect him at all. But like last week when he started getting the happy feet when there was no pressure whatsoever was kind of the start of it. Dude, how could you not feel it at this point? I mean, you got nobody around you. Your team's built to suck. All the pressure's on you. I mean, it's gonna have an impact.
Yeah, I mean, when the team's done nothing to help you, it's almost like, what am I doing here? I mean, I get that he's playing for his job, and I get that he's playing for him, but at the same time,
Minshew's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be in the league for 10, 12 years and be a backup and make $30 million.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Brett E. says he was commenting to someone in the chat who was talking about Foles. Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense because it's hard for me to keep up with things. I'm the slow guy.
Jason needs you guys to slow
I need to scroll to slow down. All right, guys. It's college was not good to me, as I will have said in the past. Elliot Crabtree says, watch Justin Herbert. I have a career game against the Jets. The Jags, just awful.
Dude, I haven't seen him play, but everybody's talking about Herbert being legit.
No, he's legit. He's the real deal.
Okay.
And another guy that I think I was wrong on. Maybe I shouldn't be the Jags GM or scout.
Just don't pick quarterbacks because you're awful with quarterbacks. You're dead on every other position. You suck at picking quarterbacks. Just
because I thought Tebow would win a Super Bowl doesn't mean I'm awful.
I hear quick release. I hear the guy's got
Cody Kessler was a beast, okay? He had some concussion issues. You can't blame the man for that. It's like blaming Dak for his broken leg.
I'm blaming you for being bad at picking quarterbacks.
I did pick Deshaun Watson.
Well, yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Agreed. We all did.
Yeah. Okay. Just saying. Just saying. Kev B says Foles' record of lasting through a season is too awful. I wish he was still here. Don't want that risk.
Dude, you couldn't keep that guy here with our team. I mean, he'll work on the Bears, and if they make the playoffs, they might win a Super Bowl because their defense is just straight nasty. But I mean, he's that guy. I mean, he's going to get hit a lot. If he had to run for his life in Jacksonville, he'd be out already.
That's true. I mean, again, I'm a guy that likes Foles as well. I think he got a raw deal here.
He absolutely did.
But,
And he got a $50 million paycheck.
That's true. I guess he didn't get a raw deal. I guess he got paid. So that's not fair to say he got a raw deal. I guess as a competitor, he got a raw deal, not as a employee. Zach Becker, I'm tired of people saying the offensive line has sucked. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the line as a whole when everyone is playing.
I agree.
Yeah, the line definitely stepped up this year. That was another position that we thought maybe would be a position of suspect. We thought maybe wouldn't be able to carry the weight, may even be the issue with the team. And there's a lot of finger pointing that can go on, but the offensive line is not that position. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. Too bad they're not going to be here next year.
What do you think they do with Cam Robinson? Because this is like his franchise.
Robinson's gone, Norwell's gone, and Linder's gone.
So you're looking at just like whoever's playing right guard and then Jawan Taylor?
Yeah, and then they're going to patch it up like they always do, man.
I want to get to this Jed Camplain. I like this, Jed, and I'm glad you brought this up because I've been thinking this ever since I saw a couple people say it on Twitter. I wanted to bring it up. He says Bucky Brooks for GM.
I don't know who that is. Not
Okay,
surprising,
Bucky
but-
Brooks worked for NFL Network, and now he covered the Jags. And here's what made me think of it. He's loved by everyone. He does great analysis, like a legit national guy.
I love the
randomly
name.
just took a job with the Jags. It was really random to me, and it didn't like hit me until a couple weeks ago. Like, do you think that maybe Bucky Brooks like took this job like kind of knowing that he's going to be the GM next year?
So what does he do for us right now?
Right, he's just a writer. He just covers the Jags.
So kind of like what happened with the Raiders.
It's kind of like a
Well, that guy was a sports writer,
right.
and now he's their GM.
Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
It's in exactly like the Mike Mayock situation. That's exactly what like, and it's like that kind of makes sense. Like Shad Khan probably called him up and was like, "Hey, Bucky,
Hey, you got 1 year.
yeah, I
do
mean
this, and you're
Caldwell's
getting-
under contract until 2021, so I mean you can get out of that contract next year with the least amount of cap hit." Do they go after like an NFL analyst guy? Like, why not at this point?
What? It's worked other places.
Yeah,
All right, Bucky Brooks it is. GM, done.
I like
Check
it.
that box.
I like it. And
Who's Bucky Brooks' coach then? That's the next one, right? I mean,
he's going to bring in some guy from NFL Network, so I don't even know. Kurt Warner, new head coach of the Jaguars.
there we go. Done. All right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I would love Bucky Brooks. I kind of thought that. That's kind of interesting. Like, if it comes out that Bucky Brooks is the GM next year, we're all going to look back at him being like a writer for the Jags and be like, oh, that's why. That's why he decided to be a writer to like cover the Jags. So.
That might be the question or the comment of the year. Right
Yeah,
there.
that was good, Jed. Way to go. Moon Illusion says you guys should try out for a kicker this week if Lambo's out again.
That'd be good for a game.
I could probably hit an extra point. I know I could hit an extra point.
That was good for 40 to 50 back in the day. I could definitely hit the 32-yarder that jabroni missed.
I was actually a really good punter.
Yeah.
Did a lot of punting.
All right.
So
We don't need a punter,
We don't need
though.
a punter.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? I mean, it could be my first ever kick in the NFL or college, and I could be right there.
Be as good a shot as this guy.
Robert Adzert says Bucky would work. Elliot Crabtree says hire Bucky Brooks for the GM. Bradley.
Now, you guys heard it here. You guys heard it on Jags United. Bucky Brooks is our GM next year. Lock it in.
Yeah, there it is. Bradley Williams says, what about Romeo Crennel, the Ravens OC, as our next head coach? Romeo C.
Isn't he like 75?
I don't think it's Romeo Crennel. I think he's talking about a different Romeo C, which is just ironic. But I don't know. Ravens offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's the guy that came from San Fran, right? There's no way that guy's leaving there.
Maybe your head coaching job. I don't know. Jed Camplain says, I think he would work his way, I think. C. Breacher says, UCF Jaguars started the Bucky for GM.
Ah. Well, we'll give some UCF some cred then.
We will give him some
Maybe
credit.
you didn't hear it here first, but we
You
confirmed
didn't hear
it.
it first, and I don't think he started it, but I do like UCF, so we'll give him a little bit of credit.
So you got-
I did see it on Twitter like a while ago.
Okay.
It's okay. Well, Twitter's just
In
a-
my
who
world,
knows? In Joey's world,
this is how it happened.
He's just found out who Bucky Brooks is.
yeah, and I'm excited.
Robert Adzert says a top scout. C. Breacher says, or at least he made it popular. That could probably get some credit there. Moon Illusions, hopefully. Bucky Brooks would be great, says Chili Willie. Bradley Williams, I hope so. Bucky Brooks used to play for the Jags and is still on the NFL Network.
Used to play for the Jags?
That's what Brett E says. Jed Camplain says UCF. Okay, so UCF Jaguar.
Apparently, we've got a theme here.
Okay, I mean that doesn't surprise me at all. Bradley Williams says Lamar would not be as good as he's doing with the Ravens. Okay, if he didn't have the OC, all right. Elliot Crabtree, Dave Caldwell has been the GM since Gus Bradley was hired. Just fire him after this season.
I think it's finally going to happen.
Cynical Jags fan says Tony Romo for head coach.
God, that'd be awesome.
C. Breacher says Maurice Jones-Drew for whatever Tom Coughlin did. I can't imagine the NFLPA coming out and saying, don't sign with Maurice Jones-Drew. He's a snake. Can't imagine that happening.
Okay, but first of all, I love MJD, but he's got zero coaching or front office experience.
If you're going to bash Maurice Jones-Drew, you might as well just stop right now. I'm sitting inches from his jersey.
And you want to be our GM next year?
Yes, I do. And I first order of business, hire Maurice Jones-Drew. First order of business.
I'm not going to fight you there.
Brett E says if Shad only cared about money, he needs to get Trevor Lawrence. His team will make more money, get new sponsors, and finally get primetime games. Yeah, I think we read that comment already. I agree. That's a solid point. That's kind of Joey's point. We would all love Trevor Lawrence, but also everyone in New York would love Trevor Lawrence. Everyone in Washington would love Trevor Lawrence. Everyone in the whole United States would love Trevor Lawrence. That's the issue.
I mean, think of all the Vidal Sassoon money that Goldilocks would bring in. I mean, those commercials would be running nonstop, right?
At least dandruff shampoo commercials.
There you go. Head and Shoulders,
Head
man.
and Shoulders.
Done.
Sorry, I'm a little slow, guys.
Put him in a black Jags jersey. Goldilocks, Head and Shoulders. I mean, there's no flakes. Khan's making billions.
Troy Polamalu can make a cameo, get his money. There it is. Moon Illusions, why would Caldwell trade a ton of players for picks and cap just to lose his job? If he could somehow acquire Trevor Lawrence, he would not lose his job. I think he would keep his job.
He's actually kind of good at that stuff, though.
Yeah. Maybe. Elliot Crabtree says UCF Jaguar for Jags next coach in 2021. UCF Jaguar, yeah, he could be okay.
I don't think he has time for that, though.
He's always blowing me off for his girlfriend, so he's have to get that figured out before he can be the coach.
Plus he puts up a lot of content. I mean, that's like your entire day right there. Your girlfriend and your content, man. I mean, how are you going to coach on top of that?
Not happening.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now. Bradley Williams, MJD as quality control guy for our organization. See, now we're talking.
But why? Where's the qualification for that?
A quality control guy, you don't need qualifications. What that means is that you stroll into the locker room, you make sure all the guys are doing all right. If they're not, you're the liaison between the players.
They've already got that. It's the tight end from Indy, who's awesome. Pollard.
Yeah.
He does a fantastic job. If you don't like Pollard, I'm not good with you.
Well, I just want new people everywhere at this point. For sure. Elliot Crabtree says, don't ever fire Keenan McCardell. He's a good wide receiver coach to me.
I have to agree there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look at – he's turned
He's turned guys that were off the street into somewhat legit NFL wide receivers. So he obviously is doing a good job.
Moon Illusion says, update. The Jets' Adam Gase signs with the Jaguars as head coach and general manager.
He just about made me cuss for the first time on the Jags our pod. No, dude, his eyes alone, man. I can't look at that guy. He's awful.
Someone, unfortunately, was not nice to him and made a video where they
the googly eyes.
Or no, they put a bug flying around and had him following it.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah. Josh L, who could be Josh Lambo.
I almost guaranteed is.
Says shoelace for offensive coordinator. Here's an honest question here. This is from Haas All. He says, should we draft a running back next year, or do we have enough hope in Robinson? That's a good question.
Yeah, we absolutely do. We won't have any picks until the 5th round because we're trading them all to get Lawrence. But a 5th round guy, yeah. You can score on a late round running back easily. Not
to cut off the questions, I think that's a good question, but I just want to update people on my fantasy league.
Please do.
I won by
because really everybody right now at 11 whatever is sitting on the edge of their seats and couches, waiting to hear how your fantasy league's doing, Jason.
Won by 0.5.
That's solid.
0.5.
That is solid.
And I beat the first place team, which puts me in first place, and I'm now first place in all my leagues. Including the Jaguars United League, which I will now use this time to pump our fantasy league. Shout out to all the people in our fantasy league.
Tons of fun.
It's a good time. Joey's in it. How you doing in the league, Joey?
I will be 3-3 after this week.
3-3. Not bad. Not quite first place, but not bad. Hey, first place is me.
All you got to do is make the playoffs.
That's true.
I think you should put in our slow crawling banner that you are currently in first place in all 3 of your fantasy football leagues.
You think if I do that slow, people will think we'll be able to read it?
Yeah.
Because to me, this is as fast as I would want it.
Maybe slow it down a little bit so you can make sure that they read it.
I am slow, for sure. Moon Illusion says he's 3-3 as well.
Nice.
Back to the Robinson talk, because that is a good question. Because Robinson, he didn't have a great game last week. No doubt about it. They didn't give him as many carries as they did 2 weeks ago.
They tried to, though. They started off looking like they were.
Yeah, they did. But I like Robinson. But look, the NFL nowadays is a 2-back league. I mean, we watched the Cowboys tonight. They have a receiving back and a running back. James Robinson can do both, but you have to have – unless you're Derrick Henry, you have to have another guy. and you have to have another guy. And it doesn't matter where you get them, free agency, 6th round, 1st round. I don't care where you get them, but you got to have another guy. I like Robinson, but no running back can do it alone unless you're just like built different. Like,
God, did you
like
see him
Derrick Henry
stiff arm Josh
Norman?
Josh
Yeah.
Norman? Oh my
He's
Lord.
disgusting. He's just absolutely disgusting of a player. He had like a 94-yard run last week.
I've never been happier for a player. I mean, part of it's because he's from close to here, but I've never been happier for a guy like to do that well that's not on our team. Like, it's just amazing.
Elliot Crabtree says, let's just be thankful that Dan Snyder is not our owner, and we don't want to be called the Jacksonville football team now, do we?
Or the Jacksonville Peeping Toms, or the Jacksonville... I can't say anything else.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Elliot kind of brings some bangers in here with some perspective. Yeah, the fact that we don't have Dan Snyder is something to be thankful for. And I know Khan gets a lot of crap, but he's not Dan Snyder.
I don't think Khan's a bad owner. Khan, I 1,000% believe, is going to keep the team here, which is a great thing because none of us don't want to have a team to root for. I think on every aspect outside of the product on the field, he's a good owner. He just doesn't really care about that because he doesn't have to. But that's his GM's job, and we've had a crappy GM.
But you got to make a change at GM eventually.
But he also has to put time into that, and I don't think he cares enough to put time into that. So
that's true.
I don't know.
Well, we are hitting about 80 minutes now on our live show.
That is our limit. That's all I signed up for contract-wise.
Yeah,
as well.
contract-wise, if we go over 80, then I owe Joey more money.
I get time and a half.
Yeah, so we can't give any more vacation days because he's used all those up in the first month. But we appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. We love talking with you guys. We love chatting with you guys. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. We love talking with you guys. Man.
I don't know if you learned anything from this podcast, this 80-minute podcast. You learned that Jason is winning all 3 of his fantasy football teams.
And next week it'll probably be on the ticker, the slightly faster ticker.
I hope it is.
And we're going to have some fans that abhorrently hate the ticker.
It'll be too fast next week.
And that's okay. It's going to be way too fast.
You have to dial it in.
You guys, I can't wait till next week. It's going to be freaking firing down there. And you guys are going to be like, oh, crap. We shouldn't have said anything. It's going to be like so distracting. We're going to have like 4 people watching the show because the ticker is going to be going so fast. It's going to be giving people epilepsy.
I caught a T and an E. What does it say in between? I have no idea.
Yeah, then we'll be talking about fast tickers. How about that? No, but seriously, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. Make sure to hit us up. We'll try to do some live shows during the week. Maybe we'll definitely be here next Monday with Joey. Joey, as always, this is always so much fun, man. I love
Absolutely,
it.
Man.
Appreciate you being here as always.
Thanks, guys, for all the questions.
Absolutely, man. And make sure to hit us up on Twitter. We'll try to get to some of them next week. And as always,